Hi friends, somebody asked one question about Maharashtra Indians corrupt, right? Four examples I gave. They requested me to make that video in English. 2009, what happened? I thought of go back to India, and then I joined a tour from LaGuardia to California, earlier to Grand Canyon. I was driving with my friends. One of my siblings came from US, and I thought of join with her and go back to India along with her. But during that trip earlier to Grand Canyon, I got an interview I attended, and he promised overtime also, OT. I asked all the questions. So when I went all the way from California to Harrisburg instead of go back to India, then after first week he said no, the prime vendor doesn't pay overtime, but he asked me to do overtime. It's called slavery, right? H1B slavery Indians do here. So after that, the next project I got, not the very next, after that he didn't give a project reference, though American manager gave a reference, but the client hiring manager in Montana wants to talk to this supervisor, but he doesn't want to reply over the business email or the office desk phone. Meanwhile, the vendor and illegal vendors for the new project started scolding me, saying that you are fake, why he is not returning the call or reference. So finally I wrote an email to him saying that based on humanitarian grounds, just move your butt and come out of the office desk and call from your mobile phone, because the Montana and Pennsylvania architecture is same, because both the government clients. One second, he wants to cross check whether Kumar worked there or not. I don't know how fake guys manage this. Then he answered the calls of the CIO of Montana, and then Harrisburg guy. The project is cleared, and then the vendor and illegal vendor who scolded me come back and said they are Telugu vendors, one from Florida, one from Michigan, two from Michigan. So they said you are great. That's how vendors are. So vendor means Indian, is a broker, like Mumbai women brokers, right? So that's how. And yeah, that's how. The next one is Maharashtrian. I thought only Indian hiring managers, especially Chaudhary, is corrupt, but that is one Maharashtrian. Another Maharashtrian, Pennington, New Jersey, is very crooked. I never talked to my spouse at work location from the phone, though my family stayed 400 miles away from my work location. But this hiring manager is always on the phone with his spouse. He's very crooked. He asked me to come at 7 a.m., worked beyond 5 p.m. to meet the offshore teams. That was 2017 Pennington story. And then he said budget over before completion of 3 months. It is July 4th, Freedom Independence Day. He asked me to come to work. Nobody is there, but I still came because he's manager, right? I asked for I put a lot of OT, right? Generally I write in business email, these many hours I worked, I need a compa for OT. So he got angry and he said talk to your employer, that is broker. Then he scolded me like anything. Maybe he is never aware, like some client locations hiring manager, they work lifetime there, like a frog in a well, outsourcing companies employees in India. So they don't know anything. So then he fired me. And the Telugu assistant manager told he will fire you today, careful. So they all want a Telugu speaking guy and an Indian, and they fired an African American and they hired me. I also asked that. So meanwhile this guy, the Maharashtrian guy, told everyone in the client Kumar is bad guy. One Telugu hiring manager came and said he is spreading a bad news about you, or bad fame to you, bringing bad fame or bad things about you, though it is not true. So before you leave, you make it clear. I complained to CEO, man. I complained to Department of Labor also, but no action taken. So then the Telugu hiring manager, along with his team, another 5, total 6 members, I recorded the audio. I will hear it when time comes. He was asking questions. But before start the interview, he said this, because this project is ending, right? Before itself, he told there is one guy worked on 18 months on H1B and left. So he wants to hire the same guy. Because the same vendor will give money, right? I don't know, in that case, why are you taking interview for me? I asked him, like, because he told he wants to hire, because in financial client the rule is after 18 months either you become full-time, that is client sponsor H1B, or you have to exit and come back and join after 6 months. So they ask me all kinds of nonsense. Then I ask, do you have any questions? I have asked only one question: did you advertise this and did you interview any Americans? That's how the Pennington, New Jersey, all Indians, whoever the hiring manager, caste or language they speak, they hire only those people. You check in Exchange DL instead of crying for me, so you will get it. So that is one. Another location, Rhode Island. That client said, Kumar, do you need any help while leaving last day? Then I said, I need because my recommendation to you is to take a client experience letter on the paper. Many clients gave me, man. So that will be very useful if you submit your resume to American prime vendors. They trust, right? American reference is needed. And so I said, I just need an experience letter. So client experience letter is wonderful. They will mention genuinely what you work, start date, end date. This guy working elsewhere from Indian outsourcing company, shit company, he rushed there and he wrote them in the email, don't give any letters to him. See, neither that outsourcing company give a salaries on time, release the payments on time to the multiple brokers, though they insert the brokers. He's a Maharashtrian again. And they don't let client also give. And he took ID card from me. He can behave as a human being, but he behaves as if I am a sex slave and he is a master, something like that. He behaved, arrogance and all. He's a Maharashtrian. And before coming to the project also, he called it. They are scared basically whether resource will come or not. They lose money, right? Body is important for outsourcing companies, not the brain. So that much hangama I did. He asked like, which motel did you land? I didn't see the motel name. Then I said I stopped on the highway, man, once I reached the village or town. So that's how. And another, that is two Maharashtrians. Another Maharashtrian, there is one more, Pennington, Harrisburg. One more I don't remember. 4 guys I come across, Pennington, Harrisburg. Another one is 2018, is a Maharashtrian. He takes $1,000 from my salaries, because I asked employer, that broker, why are you paying less? $1,000 less. Then he showed it on Google phone, on his phone, in a bar very next to my apartment. Whenever I asked salary, he used to give a beer. I said, not beer, I want salaries. Then he showed on Google Pay on his phone. So the project, though project I changed, still that manager gets 1,000 because he gave a reference one. Second, in his rule is, if you work in that building, you have to pay $1,000 to him. He's a Maharashtrian Indian. So one Maharashtrian Indian to Harrisburg and Rhode Island, 4 I told, right? So generally Maharashtrian means, I think 2 people, Shivaji and Jhansi Lakshmibai. They fight for freedom of the country and against Britishers, and Shivaji is a big king. But when it comes to Maharashtrian Indians in US, Nanganas come in, they dance naked, especially hiring managers, if you give dollars. So they are also corrupt equally like Telugu Chaudharis. Thank you.